Welcome everybody to the Bear and Variety podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Aaron.
And today's a really cool day. It's a really good week for Star Wars.
Oh, this is a great week for a lot of stuff involving Disney.
A lot of things have been released. A lot of things have been let out. A lot of secrets that they've been holding from us for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's definitely a good time to be a fan of Star Wars or Marvel.
Oh, yeah. We in a good place. We live in. You're a fan of Star Wars, and I'm a fan of Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And we're both fans of vice versa.
Living the dream right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But before we get into any of that, Aaron, tell me about your week. How's it been?
It's been a pretty good week. Pretty good. Man, do I got a story for you.
Oh, tell me the story. You said you were going to tell it to me earlier.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the podcast.
Yeah. So, here's the thing, right? I was driving, going on a nice drive.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't have my license yet, but I'm learning. I waited a little bit,
Yeah.
Wasn't comfortable, so I waited a bit. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, I was driving, just like in a parking lot doing maneuverability stuff, getting that down. Not that hard, actually.
It's not
having
hard.
a good time.
It's not hard, but it's just stupid that Ohio's the only really state that does that.
Yeah, it's like if you hit one thing, then you just fail.
Yeah,
it's just it's very hit or miss, and
literally.
you don't want to hit, you want to miss the cone. That is, but yeah, I was just driving around doing that, and it starts raining. This was 2 days ago. When we had that big storm pass through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it starts sprinkling a little bit. And my dad's outside the car. He's just kind of telling me where I'm at and stuff. I'm just getting a feel for it because I have a very wide car. But so I turn on the windshield wipers, right? Because it's raining. Obviously, it's what you do. So my dad jumps in the car and starts pouring more and more, and we just go a little bit, maybe 5 more minutes. And then it starts downpouring, and there's thunder and lightning, and I'm just okay, well, I mean, we can keep going, but it's kind of hard to see and stuff, and, why would we be out here if we're going to be, miserable and that kind of thing. So we're just kind of sitting there, chatting, and we're oh, it's not that big, we can wait it out a bit. And then I look down, and my steering wheel is smoking.
What?
From the back of the steering wheel, there are wisps of smoke coming out of my steering wheel. It was legit. You could see it. It looked like a minor vape cloud was passing through my car. What? My dad was oh, I thought I smelled something. And I was yeah, we should probably not be here if that's the case. And he was yeah. And he touches it, and he's oh, that's actually really hot. We should not do that. And he's I wonder what it could be. The ignition's in there, the windshield wipers are in there. That's probably what started it, because we turned the windshield wipers off, and it kind of calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a problem I have now.
So you just don't
if it rains, my car wants to catch on fire. But hey, the rain will put it out. Might have to get a new car. Might get that fixed, hopefully.
What even happened?
I don't know,
How does
man.
that happen?
I don't know, man. Okay, it happened, and
that's crazy.
That's a story for you.
That's insane.
So yeah, how was your week, man?
I've mostly been working, actually. During that downpour, I was actually working. So
that's fun.
But yeah, so basically, the whole shtick, the whole thing, I'm not doing college this year.
Right.
So I'm looking for more full-time job type deal, or at least something just for the year, because I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
It's just, for the moment, I need to find something.
Right.
And I can use this year as a way to learn more and do different things.
Right.
Just see
Grow
what's
as
out
a
there.
person.
Yeah. But definitely have to work more, because it's if I'm not doing school, then I have to work. You know, it's just, I need to do something and not be a fat, lazy slob.
Hey.
But yeah, so basically I'm working every day of the week now, except Wednesdays and Sundays, obviously.
Yeah.
But so my boss came up to me and he's hey, you have more time, because because I told him I'm not going to school this year, so I can work more. And he's would you mind taking Tim's job? And the thing is, Tim's my older brother, and he worked at the same place that I work at, except he worked during the day. He did maintenance.
Right.
He made deliveries and stuff.
He did offsite kind of whatever needed to be done. He was the guy.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's doing a different job. He got an internship somewhere else. So, he's moving on to that. He started that this week, actually.
Nice.
apparently the hours suck right now, but that's just because he's new and he's got to...
Yeah, he's got to learn the ropes.
Yeah, and all that. But, so basically they're like, hey, he's gone now, and he was a pretty crucial part of our operation. Do you want his job?
You want to step up?
And I was like, because originally, my brother was like, hey, I'm leaving, so you could take my job.
That's true.
Because you're looking for stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want to do what you do at all. And then my boss came up to me and he explained it a bit more. And I was like, well, I'm not doing anything. I might as well. I'll probably get paid more.
Yeah.
And it's a day shift job, not a night shift.
Yeah, because you're currently working until close.
Yeah.
You go in at 3 and then you get home at midnight.
Yeah. Because I host at a restaurant. For anyone who doesn't know. Yeah. That's what I do.
You're there until people stop coming in, basically.
Pretty much.
Then, you'll have a set time of when you get off. And that'll be, what would you say, 2 or 3?
Well, he told me, you come in at, 8 and you'll leave by 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
So it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
You have, a whole evening, afternoon kind of deal.
Which I kind of miss, to be honest.
Yeah.
I miss going home and, having dinner.
Right.
I miss going home and, seeing everybody awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I don't see people very much anymore.
That would kind of be lonely.
I wake up, and then everyone's already gone to work, because I wake up at, 8, 9, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't sleep in super late.
Yeah.
But, everyone's already gone by the time I wake up.
Yeah,
And so I just kind of hang out and do whatever I want till it's time to go to work.
Right.
And then I'm at work when everyone comes home. So
then you won't have that pressure, too, of, waiting to do something.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I have to do this thing at this time, so, I feel like I can't start anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's super nice.
Yeah.
Because I can, well, if I want to, paint a thing or, draw a thing or, I can do that. I can start that.
You'll just have, free evenings.
Yeah.
Sounds
really
good.
Nice.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. So,
you know what else is a good time?
What else is a good time, Aaron?
Star Wars.
Star Wars is a great time, dude. Okay.
So let's see. Let's go
boy.
through a bunch of news real quick. Galaxy's Edge in Disney World, Orlando, Florida, opened this week. D23 Expo happened, so we have a bunch of new announcements
Lots
of
of
Star
new
Wars
stuff.
and Marvel, which is why we're talking about it, because it's heckin' exciting.
Stuff that made me flip, honestly.
Yeah. So do you wanna start with Mandalorian or Episode 9?
Let's go with the Mandalorian. I feel like there's not as much to talk about there.
Yeah, that's true. It's very self-contained.
Yeah.
Which is a nice thing.
So we got the official timeline.
Yeah, we did.
Of everything, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And I love that they have it all in order. I just wish that they had, because those are all the movies and TV shows.
Right. They had Clone Wars in there. Yeah. They should at least.
But I want a timeline that includes all the books and comic books as well.
Right.
I just want to see all that in a line.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me how small Star Wars is, the core of it, which is basically just the movies and now TV shows coming in. But all the extended stuff, the comics and the books and all the other canon stuff, that still exists within the canon, obviously, because Legends isn't there anymore.
Which honestly, looking back, that was such a smart move.
It was.
That was the best move.
No, it was a great move, because now they can totally forge their own path. And then they can bring in stuff as they see fit.
And everything can connect.
Exactly.
You look at Galaxy's Edge and all the little things on the walls.
Dude, Galaxy's Edge is on the official timeline.
It is.
Which is nutty.
Great.
I love it.
Man. And so recently I had bought Battlefront 2.
Right.
And as everyone knows, and if you don't know, well, when that game came out, it
sucked.
Was pretty poopy.
I bought it when it came out. It was a bad time.
It was exciting because it's Battlefront 1 was only Rebels versus Empire.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
And it was just multiplayer, and it wasn't really anything special. But Battlefront 2, it's canon in the timeline. It has official characters. It has a single player story, and it has it spans across Clone Wars, Age of the Empire.
Yeah,
not Age of Empire. That's a different game. And then the Resistance era. So you get everything in one, which is pretty great.
Which is the best, honestly. And so, I was just kind of looking around because I wanted to get Overwatch. Well, I was thinking about getting Overwatch.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know, because, I don't know if I'd play it. That's the thing. Because, I enjoy the game, but I don't know if I would actually play it.
That's true, because you're not a big multiplayer kind of guy.
Honestly, not really.
When it comes to Star Wars.
Well, so I looked at Battlefront 2, right? Just because I was like, I wonder, I just wonder how much it is.
Right.
And it was $5. It was $5 whole.
That's a good deal.
When the game launched, 2 years ago? Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah. 2 years ago.
When the game launched 2 years ago, $60. That game's $5, dude. I was like, I'm buying it right now.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, I'm just buying it right now. And I did. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving so much of it.
So do you think, with the new announcements and stuff, do you think we'll get, like, whoever the Mandalorian character is from the show in that game?
Maybe?
Because I feel like he's going to be pretty prominent if they're making an entire show around him. Which, every episode in that show, because I know we went off on a little tangent there about Battlefront 2 when we said we were going to talk about the
I was leading into something too with that.
But... Well, I just want to say, like, every episode is costing them like $100 million. Yeah. Like, they're putting effort into this.
It's going to look good. And our boy Jon Favreau,
Taika Waititi, the Russo brothers.
George Lucas, I believe, directed an episode.
Really?
I think he did.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
He at least was involved.
Well, of course he's involved. That makes sense.
Same with episode 9. He was involved in that as well.
Right. Well, of course, because it's going to be a celebration. We'll get to that later.
Dude, we're so excited.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
But yeah, it was just really cool, like all the things that they've done with the game.
Right.
And it's definitely in a much better place. If you're into playing games and you either got Battlefront when it first came out and it sucked and you stopped playing it, or if you didn't get it because it was bad, you should get it now because like it's really good.
I'm thinking about booting it back up again.
You should.
Honestly, I'll have to update, but I'm fine with that.
I'm enjoying it so much. It took 17 hours to download.
Wow. You have like an Ethernet cord too, to like your PC.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was pretty garbage.
Uh-huh.
But it was a good wait. But anyway, what I was getting at was the campaign.
Right.
The story campaign.
Yeah.
They put so much effort into that.
They did.
And
I had a lot of fun when I did that.
Yeah.
Like
and we played it together the first time.
We did.
And it was fun. I remember not liking it as much when we first played it as when I played it again recently.
That's probably because like we were together and you didn't actually like play it that much.
I didn't pay attention because we were just
making jokes, having fun, having a laugh, if you will.
Which we did have quite a few laughs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
A lot of good bits came from that. But oh man, so I'm playing through it again.
Right.
And there's so much like symbolism that happens. There's so much like references to other things that happen in the universe.
Yeah.
Like it is so set in the universe. It's like not its own thing.
Right.
But like it's enough its own thing that it doesn't need the other stuff, but it mentions it. It like points to that thing and it's like set in this universe.
It makes its own path without relying too heavily on the stuff that already exists.
Yeah.
But it includes that stuff too.
It acknowledges that these things are happening.
Right. Because like there's a whole mission in there where you're on the forest moon of Endor. And you literally look up in the sky, and the second Death Star is being destroyed as you look at it. And like the characters that you play are they're in the Empire, the Inferno Squadron, which is like the main cast of characters. They're like highly trained stormtroopers in the Empire, and they're like shocked at it. And it's so cool to see that from like a ground perspective. But yeah, no, it's nuts.
The one thing I do have to say about the campaign that I wasn't. The first time we played it, I didn't like it. The second time, I was like, okay, I already knew it was coming, so it's like, whatever. Right. The thing was, I didn't necessarily like that she switched sides. Spoilers for the Battlefront campaign. Sorry. You probably don't care. You probably don't care, but whatever. But yeah, so she switches sides. She's like, an Imperial, and then she switches to the Rebellion, and I'm like, I just wanted an Empire story,
Yeah.
I wanted, because they made it so set that, like, she was for the Empire.
Right.
Like, she was dedicated to the Empire. Her planet that she was born on
is dedicated to the Empire.
Is an Imperial planet.
Although that whole scene where you, like, escape from that Imperial planet is so much fun to play.
Oh, yes.
And I don't mind that one at all.
That one's great.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, the symbolism and stuff in that scene, when they walk off the ship, her and I can't remember their name, and I feel bad. Yeah. But her and the other guy who switched sides are not wearing helmets. And the guy who stayed there, he's wearing a helmet. Because I watched an Easter egg video of it the other day.
Yeah.
Because I wanted concrete like
evidence.
This is what these are. There was a ton of stuff in there I didn't see, but they like make references to so many different characters and like just events from other stories.
Right.
And what is it? There's a comic book. Oh, what is it? It's Shattered Empire.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like in between, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And that's where you see Poe Dameron's parents meet up. And like,
that's like the little like filler kind of into episode 7, almost prequel.
Which seems like a useless comic, but it's packed with stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, Marvel puts a lot of like effort into their Star Wars comics. They put some of their best writers on there. Shout out to my guy, Jason Aaron.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
He does the main series.
Yeah, he does.
Star Wars.
He does the main series, and he's done a couple other stuff. He wrote some Vader comics. He wrote Vader Down. So
that's the first one I got.
Yeah, no, Vader Down's a great comic.
It's so good. But yeah, there's like scenes in there where like things that happen, like missions, like you got the X-wings and like shooting down this space station, and the exact dialogue in that scene is in the game.
Oh,
it's super nice.
That's cool.
And like just little things like that. It's like they put so much effort into it, and they cared about it, and it's I love it. And the Aftermath books, the Star Wars Aftermath books.
Yeah,
that like trilogy.
I haven't read
characters
those.
In there are, well, first of all, they're just in the movies.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know unless you had that piece if you'd read the books.
Yeah.
I still haven't read the third one.
I haven't read any of them.
I mean, that's fine. Like I don't expect anyone to read all the books. I don't expect myself to read them all. I want to, but it's like there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm ever going to be able to do that and remember all the pieces and where they fit.
That's true.
But yeah, there's characters in there. There's like, just like there's one of the pilots. His name is Snap Wexley. He's a cool kid. Him and Wedge Antilles.
Snap and Wedge.
Yep.
My boys.
What is it?
Wedgel.
Admiral Ray Sloan. She became like the Grand Admiral after all that happened. This character Rax, who like controlled the Empire.
Yeah.
He was in there. It's just small things like that. To some people, probably even to you, it doesn't even matter to those names.
I mean, they're pretty funny, so they're Star Wars. They're true Star Wars names.
I'm geeking out here.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's just saying the name. Just saying the name offhand, like this. Yeah. He said I need to go do this. Like.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And
no, I totally understand that. That happens with Marvel all the time. Dude, one name drop and then like the whole community goes crazy. It's just like, oh my gosh. Like more recently, we'll talk about more Marvel stuff later, obviously. Yeah. But like the guy, I think it's like Kit Harington, the guy that plays Jon Snow, I think in Game of Thrones, was just cast in a Marvel movie. Ooh. And he like they used the character's like real name, and people were like, oh my gosh, no way. And I'm like, wait, hold on, I don't understand who this character is. And then it turns out he's going to be the Black Knight, which is like, he's a pretty prominent, like kind of old school-ish Marvel character. And people are like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I'm just like, oh wait, frick, that's pretty awesome. And I'm like, a name drop, and everyone went crazy. But yeah, no, I fully understand what you're talking about.
It's insane, and I love it. And like, I'm literally just repeating myself at this point.
Yeah.
But there's so many things, so many references, so many.
It's crazy. And I hope the next two big pieces of Star Wars content, The Mandalorian and Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, I hope they're like that too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it seems like they're heading in that direction anyway. Because the sizzle reel, like the sneak peek for Episode 9 just like released.
Yeah.
Which showed like every Star Wars movie, like every prominent thing from every Star Wars movie up until that point. And then they went into like a bunch of new stuff, which was also crazy. Dude,
oh my gosh.
I don't even know where to start with all that.
Let's start with the obvious. This episode is clearly going to wrap everything up.
This is the end of the Skywalker saga, yes.
And
that's what they're claiming it's going to be.
They made that very clear with like the sizzle reel, like from every prominent movie. In the order that they came out, too.
One small detail that I did like is they started from Episode 4 and then went through in the order that they came out, like real time. So they went like original, prequel, sequel.
Which was nice touch. Good job, guys.
I like that a lot. But like I don't know, man. It's nutty. It's crazy. It's like absolutely insane, the stuff that's probably going to happen in this movie. Like we've seen a lot of footage that gets everyone like super hype. Like obviously like the Palpatine laugh in the first trailer. That was insane. And people are like, "Oh my gosh, like he's back. Like he's here, he's returning." Which is a direct callback to like everything, which is great because that's a good character.
Well, and he's been there since the beginning.
Exactly. He really has. And then you also get stuff like, where is it going? You get stuff from like this trailer where stuff that you never thought would happen. like the whole like Rey double red lightsaber like flip out staff thing, which is cool. We get stuff that we haven't seen like in movies yet. Like Rey throws her lightsaber, but then she catches it. We've never seen them like any Jedi in a movie catch their lightsaber after they throw it.
That has always been a video game thing.
Right. You've seen Vader throw his lightsaber once, but then he kind of lumbers after it. Because he can't walk fast.
He does. He doesn't even throw it that well because he can't like lift his arms above his shoulders.
Yeah.
Because like they're just this huge like plate and he can't do that.
Yeah.
So he just kind of dinosaur arms it and like it just kind of goes.
And then afterwards you just see him hobble after it. And like what is it, like episode 6? Mm-hmm. When they're fighting? Yeah. And then like now you get Rey actually properly throwing her lightsaber. Or I guess Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah.
But like it's just the small stuff like that that's crazy, and it's so cool to see. And still, like, we haven't seen anything from the movie.
No.
Like, there's people, like, cast members on that movie that we haven't seen in any footage yet. You know, like, obviously, like, Carrie Fisher passed away, and, like, you see a bit of her, but at the same time, like, that's all, like, old footage and stuff. So, like, we've only seen, like, one frame of her. You see, like, some of, like, Poe, but, like, not anything at all. You see him walking through a desert twice. You see Finn walking through a desert twice. You see Finn and Poe walking through a desert again. And then, like, you see Rey in a couple things. You see Kylo in a couple things. You see flashbacks from, like, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. But, like, you know, Matt Smith is in this movie. We don't know who the heck he is. You see a little bit of Lando.
You see
some Chewie. You see a little C-3PO. We haven't seen any, like, R2 or BB-8.
Yeah. We did see that new character, which we think is Lando's daughter. Yeah. Jana, I think her name is.
Yeah.
But like she was just in a shot.
I saw like a press thing with the actress that plays her, and she said something that she's like a skilled individual, like a strong, independent woman, like everything that is in Star Wars now.
Of course.
I mean, I have no problem with that.
No, me neither.
It's kind of getting overused. Like all the new characters are strong, independent females,
which is good. That's fine.
No, it's a great thing, but I feel like they're gonna run dry at some point. You know?
Yeah. Well, if you just create a character with no purpose, other than to like be that, then
everything. Yeah,
but
I guess so.
I don't want to talk about anything.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't care enough. No. Like, it's great. I love Rey. I love like all those characters. But she said she's a skilled individual, and the interviewer asked with a lightsaber, and she said no with the bow and arrow.
Oh.
So, laser bow and arrow, question mark. It's like a bowcaster, but a bow.
Well, those exist. Those are in Clone Wars.
Oh, that's right.
They have like the laser bow things.
Yeah.
Speaking of like
Kate Bishop. She had a laser bow at one point.
Speaking of like weapons in Star Wars, I do want to say that like I watched a video of a guy who was talking about like he like does like videos on weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
And like their practicality, and I'm like the weapons aren't supposed to be practical. They're supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
Like, the videos are interesting.
Yeah,
like
no,
I do enjoy them, but it's like I'm not looking to actually fight someone with this weapon. It just looks dope. Yeah. And I'm glad that it exists. Yeah. And I want it.
That like the rifle that the Mandalorian uses is like the rifle from the the Droids cartoon or something like that. Like it's got like a cattle prod on the end of it, but it's also a rifle. Well, and it's just like stuff like that doesn't make any sense, but it looks cool, so make it. You know?
Like it's a sci-fi world, and it's not our world.
Right.
It's a totally different universe, and like obviously we wouldn't have the same historical influences that we would have, so obviously things are different.
Yeah.
And like it's just
they grew up with people that can move things with their mind.
Yeah.
So like why wouldn't you make laser swords?
Like it's just cool, like just enjoy it, guys. Like it's fun. It is fun to talk about like practicality of that stuff.
Yeah. It's funny.
Like the flip saber, it's like okay, but like that's dope.
2 magnets on the end of it. But like yeah, who cares?
I love it.
Well, there's like Asajj Ventress, she's got like those 2 curved ones, and she can put them together and make like a weird S-shaped like hilt.
Yeah, like double saber.
And it's like that doesn't make any sense. But you know what? It would be great for like rowing a boat or something. You just like turn it like a crank.
Yeah, it's just cool and like you know, just have fun with it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The crossguard came to be because of that. It's just like, let's just make something cool.
But that actually is cool because like you see in the trailer, he stabs someone with a little end bit. And it's just like having 2 daggers on the side of your thing.
It's like it's actually effective. Like that is a really good design.
And like there's a whole thing in Force Awakens where like he's fighting Finn on like Starkiller Base, and he like they're in like a saber lock, but he shoves the like cross guard into
yeah.
his shoulder, and it's just like
Yeah.
it gives you little edges like that. That's why I love the
I
cross
forgot
guard.
about that.
Uh-huh.
That was I remember thinking that was a really good use of that.
It is.
Because, like, it's cool when you add stuff like that, but when you use them, like, actually, like, do something with them, that
Then
makes
it's
them
cool.
even
Yeah.
better.
Well, like I like how he Kylo backhands his like saber sometimes, and like
Yeah.
he uses the sides to just rush in and like stab people with like the side of it, or you know, like instead of doing a full slice, because it's so much easier to just go and like hit someone with the side of your thing, like a punch, rather than like a full slash, because then you're vulnerable and you're in a weird position. So it's just like it makes more sense that way.
Yeah, and I like Rey's lightsaber. And the Dark Ray, by the way.
Yeah.
Red double
Dark Ray.
Foley
Ooh.
saber.
If you haven't watched the trailer, by the way, go watch it.
Yeah, there's a.
Be
I mean,
enthralled by it.
it's short, but
It's sweet.
it's good. It's good. It's got some good stuff. But yeah, so the whole thing where like it folds in half and like both of them can activate and you fold it out and it's like Darth Maul's saber.
Yeah.
The thing is that lightsaber already exists, like has existed in Clone Wars and in Rebels as well.
Right.
The what was it? Pong Krell in the Clone Wars used it, which he turned into a bad guy.
That's true.
And I believe it was like a Temple Guard in Rebels. I haven't seen Rebels. I'm the worst.
I haven't either.
But I don't have a way to watch it until Disney Plus comes out.
So when Disney Plus comes out, we're marathoning all of Rebels.
Oh, you know it.
And we're gonna die together.
I do kind of want to watch Resistance a little bit.
I like the art style of Resistance, but I don't much care for it.
No.
But I kind of should watch it because it's Star Wars canon, and you can probably learn something from it. And I bet Saw Gerrera's in it, so.
And season 2 apparently is because the trailer for that came out for season 2 of Resistance, which is it's the last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're only doing 2 seasons?
I think it's just because the show did bad.
Dang. Or it's probably because like they have Clone Wars is coming back, so like who cares?
Yeah, but and it is geared a lot, not a lot, but like definitely younger than even Rebels was.
Oh, definitely.
And it's like okay, but like the second season had a lot in it. Kylo Ren showed up.
That's true.
There's a shot. There's a really cool shot where they're like the two main characters are like running towards the camera from like explosions, and they're dressed up as like Matt the radar technician from the SNL skit.
That's funny, actually.
But it's like, oh well, that was just a funny bit, but now it's like a canon thing.
Matt the radar technician canon in Star Wars? And if not, how do we petition to make it canon?
Honestly, I'd be okay if that was canon because it was Madam
Driver.
Driver.
Dude, oh man, I gotta tell you about this Uber driver, Madam Driver. She's really weird. Kind of looked like Adam Driver. No correlation, though, I bet.
You know that Snapchat filter with like the girl where it makes you look like a girl? That's what it was.
But it's like a grandma instead.
Yeah, it's just Adam Driver with that filter on.
That sounds like a good time.
But yeah, it's heckin' cool.
It is.
I'm so excited.
It is.
And I saw that trailer when immediately when I saw Rey's lightsaber, I was like, I want it. I want to buy that.
Yeah.
I want to own that.
Yeah. Well, like, it goes back to the theory of when we first saw Rey, she had that staff, and she was on Jakku, and people were like, oh, okay. And then when we found out, like, she was the Force user, and she was the Jedi, and it wasn't, like, Finn who was the Jedi, we were like, oh, so she's probably going to make her own lightsaber in traditional Star Wars fashion of using someone else's lightsaber and then getting your own by going off between movies and making it so that we don't have to show that process. People thought she was going to have a staff. People thought she was going to have a staff and it was going to be like a pike. So that way, like, the blade was on the end of it, but it was still like a staff. And the people were like, oh, she could have a double lightsaber. And I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. Because then, like, we have a Jedi who's using a double lightsaber in a, like, main storyline Skywalker saga movie, you know? But, like, it's just so cool to see. And it kind of, like, solidifies the double saber as more of a Sith type weapon.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it can disconnect. Like, I kind of hope she can use it as two, like, really long, single, like, bladed lightsabers.
Oh, yeah.
And then she can, like, flip them together and do a little twisty on them so that she
cool.
can, like, double use it.
That would be so cool.
It would be. Because, like, the fight scenes and stuff are apparently getting, like, majorly bumped up in this movie. And, like, you see that in The Mandalorian, too. Like, he cuts a dude in half with a door. And, like, he's using the grapple hook on, like, the wrist grapple.
Yeah.
And, like, he's using, like, his fists mostly. He's not really shooting anything.
He's literally using every tool at his disposal, which is what a Mandalorian would do.
Exactly. Dude, I'm so excited.
I want to see him use a flamethrower. Because we didn't see
yes.
that in the
No,
trailer.
we didn't.
But
We didn't.
Mandalorians are known to have flamethrowers.
Yeah, that's true. Well, like, he's got his rifle, he's got his grapple hook, he's got his, like, fighty skills. I wonder if he knows, like, Star Wars martial arts or something. Or if he's just, like, a drunken brawl kind of guy.
I had a weird theory, which has been proven to be not true.
Boo.
But I was like, I mean, it was kind of a joke theory. It wasn't, like, an actual theory. Yeah. But I was like, how funny would it be if he was just Boba Fett at the end? Like, if you just figured out that he was Boba Fett.
Well, that's what everyone thought it was going to be. Because they were like, ooh, the Mandalorian. And they were like, I got to make a new character.
Yeah.
But then, like, their mistake was thinking Jon Favreau would do something for a studio again.
Yeah.
That's why he quit Iron Man, so... and he made Chef.
I do like that it's a new character.
I do, too.
And I mean, I think it would have given it away if it was, like, Daniel Logan playing Boba Fett again. Because, like, well, now we know.
I like that. I'm excited that this is, like, an homage to all the past Star Wars stuff. Because they're using real models of the ships. They're using, like, actual sets. They're using puppets, and they're using, like, all that kind of stuff. But also, like, it's a totally new thing.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm really excited about.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great.
We're in a good time.
We're in a good place for Star Wars.
Yeah. And I honestly believe that J.J. Abrams can fix Star Wars.
I do, too. Because, like, he's a fan first.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was more of a fan of Star Wars than Star Trek.
Exactly.
And even when he made Star Trek, he was like,
I would rather make Star Wars.
Yeah.
And, like, he put an R2 thing in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, you see him fly by. But I think they should have just had him do the whole thing. Because, like, he clearly had a vision in mind when The Force Awakens came out. And, like, he made the Knights of Ren. He made, like, all these different things. And it was like, oh, we're going to see all this stuff. And then he was like, I'm not making any of the other movies, though. And we were like, wait a minute.
What?
Hold up. Come back. No. Fix this. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I'm excited to see where Star Wars is going in the future. Because they're really starting to pick up on it. I feel like they just had to get all their timeline stuff out of the way. Yeah. And then they were like, all right, let's go. Like, hit this hard. Let's give people what they want. Good Star Wars content.
Well, I think... I wonder if, like, they didn't entirely realize how much people care about that franchise.
That's true.
You know?
Well, it seems like more nowadays, people hate Star Wars more than they love it because it's not their Star Wars or whatever. Yeah. But, like, I feel like now they're putting a lot more care into it because of the backlash and because of, like, that kind of, like... fan reaction of I don't like this thing that I loved before, and I feel like they're gonna win a lot more people over with what they're doing and like with their kind of outlook of like we should celebrate Star Wars for what it is.
Yeah,
and I mean it's massive. It's great.
I mean, like you make mistakes. Like,
well, I mean,
I'll be honest. I liked Last Jedi. Rewatching it, like hearing other people's opinions, like I've been like, okay. Yeah, you're right. There are parts that are not good. Like there's some pretty bad stuff in it, but there's also some really good stuff in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like the hyperspace shot.
Oh my god.
Best shot I've like ever seen. That was so cool. And if you don't smile
during that, at least, then like you have no soul.
It's like yeah, okay, it's illogical. The whole like, fuel thing, like, oh, but Star Wars, the whatever. Like, just enjoy it. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so cool.
And I mean, yeah, okay, it doesn't make sense sometimes. Some things don't make sense, but like, it's also a sci-fi movie.
Exactly. And most things don't make sense. That's the
point. It's just like, I hear your argument. It makes sense, and you're right. But can you just have fun?
Yeah.
Like, put your logic aside for a moment and just enjoy like a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
I mean, a long time ago, people did enjoy a galaxy far, far away.
They did.
But currently, it's a little shaky.
Well, it's funny, too, because I watched some stuff about original reviews for Empire Strikes Back, and people hated it back then.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like that's what's happening, too, because a lot more people are starting to appreciate the prequels now. Less as a meme and more as, like, an actual movie. Yeah. Because, like, there's some... Episode 3 is actually, like, not bad at all.
Episode 3 is the best of the 3, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I remember enjoing Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace.
I remember...
when I was young,
Attack of the Clones was my favorite one as a kid.
Yeah, me too. But, like, that's only because I thought one scene from Episode 3 was in Attack of the Clones. And now that I know that it's in Revenge of the Sith, I like Revenge of the Sith.
What scene was it?
It was the scene where Obi-Wan goes to see Grievous, and he's on that lizard thing, and he crawls around and stuff. I love that scene. That's a good scene. Yeah, Star Wars is going in a good place.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens next.
It's great. It's exciting.
So, you wanna talk about Marvel now?
Do you want to save that for the next podcast? Because our time is, unless
thought
you
we
want to
were
do an
going
extended. I mean, if you want to do an extended one,
I mean, I thought it was a plan.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, Marvel.
Dude,
Tell me about it.
Give me the ship. Here we go. We're having a mutiny. Wow. So obviously a lot was announced at like SDCC, and a bunch of Disney Plus was announced and that kind of thing. At D23 Expo though, oh my gosh, they saved some good stuff for that. We now have 3 new Marvel shows added to Disney Plus. Because like originally we had, like Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, which we have more information on that. And it kind of makes sense. Why it's called WandaVision, because it's the worst name I've ever heard for a TV show. Like, it's like we called this podcast Ben Aaron. It doesn't work. Instead, we mashed our names together and called it Baron.
Which is definitely not the first time we've done that.
No,
Throwback to Minecraft in middle school.
Yeah.
That's what we named our world. It was Barren World or something.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, we got 3 new shows announced. We got to look at the cast of like the Eternals and stuff, and more information on that. But we got Moon Knight was announced as a TV show.
Moon Knight.
Dude, I'm so excited. We got She-Hulk as like another TV show for Disney Plus, obviously. And then Miss Marvel. Oh, I could not be like more hyped for these 3 shows. Like, this is everything I wanted and more.
It's such a time.
Like, there were rumors for a while that Miss Marvel was going to have her own like movie or something, but now that she's having a TV show, dude, I'm excited.
So like, I'm not entirely clear on the difference between Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel.
So, originally, back in like the 50s, 60s or whatever, when Carol Danvers was first introduced, she was called Miss Marvel.
Okay.
Because she had a relationship with Captain Marvel, who was Marvel at the time. He was the original Captain Marvel.
Was that the Skrull?
He was the Kree, yeah.
Oh, that's
he was a Kree. Yeah. And so like they had a relationship, blah blah blah. Experimental explosion thing goes off, fuses her DNA. Who the frick cares? It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. Carol Danvers became Miss Marvel, and that was her for a long time until she went by like binary, and then 2011, 2012 came around. Kelly Sue DeConnick decided, you know what, Marvel, I want to make a Captain Marvel series. Like, do a run on that. And Marvel was like, okay. And she was like, Carol Danvers is Captain Marvel now. Anyone object? And they were like, kind of, but not really, because no one really cares about him anymore. He hasn't been around for years. He hasn't been around for like 6 years or whatever. He died in Secret Invasion because he was secretly a Skrull the whole time. Whoops. Spoilers.
Oopsies.
That's like a 10-year-old book.
Spoilers for the 10-year-old book.
Yeah, so now, like, recently, during their whole like Marvel Now kind of like diversity push phase where like Miles Morales was invented, and they were like, we want to get more characters like this that are young, that are different, that are like exciting, that are new, that are fresh. Marvel went out and they made Kamala Khan, who in the events of Inhumanity, where after the Terrigen bomb went off, after Black Bolt ignited the Terrigen bomb, which is the whole thing. Inhumans garbage. Listen, he fought Thanos. The Terrigen bomb went off. All kinds of stuff happened.
People died.
It's like a tie-in to like Infinity, and then it went to Inhumanity, which is this big event where Inhumans were waking up all over the world. And so like a bunch of stuff happened. Like the royal family kind of split up and all this, and so Inhumans started waking up everywhere, and we had a bunch of new Inhumans. And Kamala Khan just so happened to be an Inhuman, who idolized Captain Marvel. And so, like, she was like, you're the best, it's like, superhero ever. I love you. I look up to you. So once she gets her powers, which are canonically called embiggening powers, which is an official word in the Webster Dictionary now because of this series. She can, like, shapeshift. She's like Mr. Fantastic, essentially. Ooh. She can, like, change the size of her limbs and stuff. And she decides, I'm going to be a superhero named Miss Marvel. And that's your current Miss Marvel. Oh, I see. So that's what the show is going to be about.
So it's a big ol'
60s
confusion.
60s garbage story that they revamped in a good way, because Kamala's great and she's a super fun character. She's kind of like she's a fanfic writer, first off.
Oh.
So she's just like a teen living in the universe who just gets superpowers, and she's like, well, I'm gonna do this now. And then like eventually she joins the Avengers. She's friends with Miles Morales, and Sam Alexander Nova. I'm excited for that show.
Dude.
I love Kamala. I so hope they just do that. And it'll be a great way to bring Inhumans back into the proper, like, MCU after Inhumans failed miserably.
Mm-hmm. Was that what they were trying to do? No, that was Mutants with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, that was Inhumans.
That was Inhumans?
They didn't have mutants at the time.
Oh, right. Yeah,
no, it was all Inhumans. They're kind of treating them like mutants, but now that they have the mutants back, they can just be like X gene and then mutants everywhere.
Whoopsie.
But yeah, and then we got Moon Knight. The logo for that is awesome because it pays homage to like his Egyptian origins. Because if you don't know,
I don't.
He's yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I don't know.
Well, like Moon Knight originally is an archaeologist named Mark Spector.
Ooh.
That's
a cool
Mark
name.
Spector because he's an archaeologist. He finds ghosts and stuff. So he's Mark Spector. He goes on adventures and stuff, and he just goes. I think I'm getting this right. It's been a while. Moon Knight hasn't been around for a while.
No.
Or at least his origin hasn't.
He's got like a resurgence.
He finds a tomb of, some Egyptian god of like the night. Big owl head. Basically, he goes insane.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got 3 different personalities in his head. He has Moon Knight, the vigilante. He's got Mr. Knight, the mobster. And he's got, I think it's Khonshu or something. That's not right. Basically the Egyptian god that now lives in his head because he found his tomb and he's his champion or whatever.
Okay, that's so weird because like I literally knew nothing about Moon Knight.
Now you know everything about Moon Knight. He's insane.
He's got 3 brains, 3 heads.
He doesn't have 3 brains. That's Phantom X. Different character. He's a mutant.
He's got 3 personalities.
He's got 3 personalities in his head.
That's so weird.
Each represented by another Marvel character: SpiderMan, Wolverine, and Captain America.
What?
Yeah. It's great.
I don't understand this at all.
Well,
I'll watch the show.
Well, like, oh my gosh, there's a rumor that Keanu Reeves might play
Moon Knight?
Mark Spector. Yeah.
Ooh.
Which would be awesome because I'd love to see that.
John Wick is Moon Knight?
Maybe. It's a rumor. But yeah, so like he's a super interesting character. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Just for the fact that like he's a vigilante, he's like a private detective / like mob boss kind of guy, and then he's just a dude who wears a bird skull on his head because he's an Egyptian god who's been reborn through a human.
That's epic.
Yeah. So like there's this really good comic where like there's a guy who's like an ex-SHIELD agent who's gone insane, is living in the sewers and stuff. And so the cops are like investigating like this like case, and then Moon Knight walks up, but he's Mr. Knight. So he's wearing an all-white suit and like a white mask with his little crescent moon on his forehead. And like one of the cops goes and tries to like arrest him, but like another cop stops him and he's like, wait, this is Mr. Knight. No, he's a good guy. He's on our side. But they're like, that's clearly Moon Knight. And they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, different guy entirely. But it's like, it's clearly the same dude. And it is. But it's so funny. It's such an interesting character. He's insane. Literally. There's a bunch of different, like, more recent comics where he's, like, in a mental institute. Or,
oh, wow.
I'm so excited for that.
Dude, you just, like, nerded out real hard right there.
Well, yeah, because, like, it's Moon Knight. You know, like, I never thought this day would happen, but here we are. We're living in a post-Moon Knight announcement world. And then, of course, She-Hulk, who's the cousin of Bruce Banner, who needs, like, a blood transfusion, and Bruce is the only carrier, and they trade blood, and then, oh, no, she's She-Hulk.
Oh, no.
And she's also a lawyer. And she has comic awareness, which means she knows she's in a comic book.
Like Deadpool.
Not really.
That's a reference everyone's going to understand.
That is. Well, she doesn't really break the fourth wall. She just knows she's in a comic book. But yeah, I'm excited for those 3.
What else did we get? We got Black Panther 2.
We got Black Panther 2 is announced, which is rumored to have Namor be the villain of. It's going to be like a tale of 2 cities.
Because
they're both kings.
Well, that and like, because Wakanda and Atlantis like are at war, right?
Like all the time.
And in Endgame, the Okoye, is that her name? I don't know.
The general?
Yeah. But she mentions that there's like offshore like earthquakes.
Yeah. Well, in way back, way back, 2015, Age of Ultron, they pull up a map. It's in the Wakanada scene. You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they're like, where'd Ultron go? And they're like, he's in Wakanada, Wakanda. Bruce Banner, 7 PhDs. Yeah, like, there's a blip on that map where, or is it, it's in that scene or it's in the scene from Iron Man 2, at like the end credit scene where they're looking at the Avengers project or whatever. There's a blip in the middle of the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantis. It's clever, right? But it would be so cool to see that, because like they're always at odds. In Infinity, I think, is the comic. Yeah, I think it's Infinity. I've been meaning to read that again. It's such a good comic. It's the most comic book comic that you can ever read.
I need to read like through a lot of stuff again.
Yeah, I can lend it to you.
I still need to finish.
I am a library. Metal. Dark Knight's Metal, yeah. But, so like, they're always at war. And they share like a coastline almost, basically. I mean, obviously, Atlantis is like, we own the ocean.
Ocean.
But like, Namor is such like a dickhead about everything. Like,
way to go.
Gosh. Well, like, it opens the door, too, because, like, he teeters on the lines so much of, like, good and evil. He's true ambivalence towards both good and evil.
He's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes. But, like, like, one day he'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go save the world, and do this kind of stuff. But in the other's, like, time, he's like, frick Wakanda, I hate them. Also, I'm gonna blow up a planet with Thanos. Like, there's a group called the Cabal, which came out of, like, just before Secret Wars 2015. The Cabal was, like, a group led by, like, Black Swan, who is from another universe, to destroy other universes before they collided into the main 616 universe. Yeah, didn't mean to blow your mind there.
Comic books are nutty, dude.
Dude, listen, just my whole life, I don't know what's happening anymore. Up is down, left is right, planets crash into other planets constantly.
It's fine. It's okay, just accept it.
Yeah, so he's teamed up with Thanos before. He's, like, fought Wakanda many times. He's, like, he's hated everyone constantly.
How do they fight each other? Do they just, like, stand at the beach and just stab the ocean?
There's a couple things where Wakanda will develop, because Wakanda's, like, a home to like the best warriors on the planet, basically, besides like Iron Fist and Ronin, who canonically Ronin is the best fighter in the Marvel universe because he beat Iron Fist in a fight, so obviously he's the best.
Well, like, is that just Marvel universe or like just the MCU?
That's in 616 Marvel. Yeah,
okay,
Iron Fist doesn't exist in the MCU anymore.
That's right.
Sure,
that's right.
Because I don't think that any of the Netflix shows are canon, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad though.
Revive Daredevil. Disney Plus.
That's the only one you need.
Honestly, yeah. That and Jessica Jones, but, you know.
If you can make the other ones good, then do those, but, like...
Just make an Iron Fist movie. Just do, like, an old Jackie Chan-style Iron Fist movie.
Yeah,
that's Iron Fist. He's just Jackie Chan, but cooler.
And he's got Glow Fist.
Exactly. But, yeah, like, that'd be so cool to see Namor being in Black Panther, too. There's rumors of an America Chavez show, which I was talking to you before.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome. They're working their way towards the Ultimates, which I'm super excited about, because the Ultimates is, like, one of my favorite teams. Not the Ultimates from the Ultimate Universe, because that's what the Avengers were called in the Ultimate Universe. That doesn't exist anymore. That was a bad idea. That was an early 2000s nightmare. I don't like the Ultimate Universe. But the Ultimates, like, omniversal, I guess, with, like, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man sometimes, like Giant Man, I guess, not really Ant-Man, just because he's smart. Not Scott Lang. It's a totally different version. Then you get like Blue Marvel, who's a super awesome character. You get Monica Rambeau, who's going to show up in the MCU, who was like Carol's friend's daughter in Captain Marvel, like that little girl.
Her.
That's Monica Rambeau. She becomes Photon and is basically like living light. She's living energy. Which is super cool. She goes by Photon, or Spectrum. That's what she's called in Ultimates. Who else? You get like America Chavez, Miss America, if you will. That's her like superhero
Captain
name.
America and then Miss America.
There's one I'm forgetting. Oh well, yeah. Like you get the main players, and they're the ultimate solution for the ultimate problems. Like that's their tagline, and it's super cool.
Dude, and like. We're also getting, I don't know, when will, like, because we're getting, what is it, like the What If, the Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
And
Falcon and
Winter Soldier. Loki.
Oh yeah, Loki, WandaVision. What else?
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's a movie.
Black Widow.
Also, yeah. The trailer for Black Widow was shown. And, like a new poster. Yeah, there's a clip of the trailer. They did kind of like a sizzle reel for Phase 4.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Of like all the directors and people talking about like what this is going to be about, and they showed like a bunch of Black Widow footage and that kind of stuff. Black Widow, I think, is going to be my favorite Marvel movie because it looks like it's based off of like one of the best runs of Black Widow by Mark Waid.
Well, and we have David Harbour, right?
And David Harbour's in it.
Heck yeah.
Who's playing a guy named Alexei. If you've seen Stranger Things Season 3, then it's funny.
It's so good. It's good.
He's playing Red Guardian, or the Enforcer, which is basically just like Russians Captain America.
Okay.
They're just like, we need a super soldier. And they were like, this dude. And then, like him and Black Widow have a past, of course, because Black Widow knows everyone from Russia.
No, yeah.
She's Russian.
Of course, because she's Russian.
Yeah, Natasha Romanova. Her official name. But yeah, and then like Iron Maiden's gonna be in it, who is kind of like an evil like Mistress Iron Man, I guess. And then like there's rumors of Taskmaster gonna be in it. There was concept art of that.
I hope so bad. I want to see Taskmaster.
It would be he would fit in so well with like that whole crowd because like it's Black Widow. She's one of the like she's a spy. She's a fighter. She has one of the most like unique fighting styles in like the Marvel movies at this time. So like seeing Taskmaster do that little like leg thing where he like wraps his legs around like someone's head and like flips them on the ground, that would be really funny to see, and it would also be really cool to see.
I just hope they don't do the whole Mysterio thing again, like from spoilers for Far From Home, by the way. You should have seen it by now, but if you haven't, just light spoilers right here. But I just hope they don't do the thing where, like, oh, he's a good guy. Just kidding, he's not. Like, I hope they don't do that again.
Well, I hope it's going to be more of, like, that just reminded me of something else. I think Bucky Barnes is confirmed to be in Black Widow.
Oh?
I think he's going to be in it.
That would be dope.
Yeah. Well, because, like, they have a huge history in, like, the comics universe and stuff, at least.
I'm just wondering... I don't have the timeline straight in my head, so I don't.
I mean, Bucky's been around every once in a while, and like she's like 70 or something.
Well, when's her movie taking place?
It's taking place a bit after Civil War.
Oh well, then he can be.
But but also it's gonna have a bunch of flashbacks.
Okay.
So we're gonna see like a couple different eras because like Natasha, she isn't like a 30-something person. She's like 70. She takes a modified version of the super soldier serum called the Infinity Serum, which prolongs her life and gives her minor superhuman abilities. That's dope. So she's been around since like the same time as Captain America. They knew each other in World War II, that kind of deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Like she's been around. She was a Russian spy throughout like the Cold War and that kind of stuff until she diverted and was like, I'm going to be on my own.
I'm going to be a good guy.
Yeah. Man. And then she met Hawkeye and they joined the Avengers together. Yay. Epic.
Dude.
But yeah, and like Jeremy Renner's going to be in it too. So we're going to see some Hawkeye again.
That's what I want to see.
I want to see more Hawkeye, of course.
Because he needs more stuff. He's like...
he's getting his own TV show.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, the Hawkeye show. He's going to train Kate Bishop. My girl.
Well, great.
My one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And with all this good news, we've also received some slightly bad news.
Oh, what?
That
Yeah,
that our boy Thomas
Hollandis,
British boy,
Beyonce himself,
SpiderMan, our boy, is no longer in the MCU.
Yeah, there was a whole thing with Disney and Sony. It's very sad that they're not going to work together.
If this is like the first time of you hearing this news too, like...
It's sad. I'm sorry.
It's sad that you're getting your news from us, honestly.
That's also true, yeah. It's very sad that he's not in the MCU. It sucks, too, because after that huge cliffhanger in Far From Home, that they're just not going to touch up on it. Like, ugh.
You can't... I mean, we got the best cameo of all time.
I mean, yeah, true. Like, he's going to stay.
He better.
Hopefully. But I just... It sucks that that's a thing because Spider-Man works so much better when he has other Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Like, he's the team-up boy. He's the, like, the everyman kind of deal in the MCU and, like, in the comics, too. So it's just, like, seeing him go is really sad. I hope that they can get Spider-Man back. Mm-hmm. But if they can't, well, then that would just
here's my thoughts on it. Yeah. Like, it does suck, and I wish that he was still part of the MCU. Like, I'm all for Sony and Disney fixing something. Together. I don't care what happens, like, but I would love him to be in the MCU. Yeah. But the way I see it, it could be good that he's not connected. In the same vein that, like, because Sony owns all these different Spider-Man.
That's true.
And, like, it would be better if Spider-Man was connected to the MCU, but if he's not, I mean, it could still happen if he was. Yeah. But what Sony can do is they can make our Spider-Verse movie. They can put all the different Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Mm-hmm. They could put all that together, and they could make like Spider-Verse 2.
That's true, with Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield.
It would be great.
Yeah. Well, like, I heard a rumor earlier today that there was a deal going on. They were trying to, like, renegotiate, and IGN mistakenly said that he was back in the MCU and that Venom was going to be reintroduced. Oh. But here's what's happening behind the scenes with all this company drama is that, like, Sony is kind of close to bankruptcy. And the original deal from the 90s, like early 2000s, when they had to sell off the rights of all the Marvel characters to save Marvel from bankruptcy, was that in the contract it stated that if the company that was sold the rights goes bankrupt, the rights automatically revert back to Marvel, no matter what. They get their characters back. So that's kind of like a little failsafe of, if they go down, well, then we get our characters back.
That's a good failsafe.
Exactly. So that, like, someone else can't buy them. But also, like, if Sony's close to bankruptcy and they do go bankrupt because none of their movies are, like, good or no one goes to see their movies, well, then we get Spider-Man back. And we get all of Spider-Man back. Like, we get Venom, we get Morbius, we get Black Cat and Silver Sable, we get J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, yes.
We get all of that.
We just need him back.
I mean, yeah.
That's it.
We get Kraven, we get all of them. But also, if Sony's close to bankruptcy, well, then why can't they just buy the rights back, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, if they need money, well, then give them, like, a couple $1 million or $100 million or whatever, and be like, give us our Spider-Man back.
Well, you know what else they could do is just make good movies.
Yeah,
as hard as that is,
aren't always around.
That's true. But, I mean, I know it's hard to make a good movie. Like, it's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a miracle that most movies are good nowadays. Like,
but, like, I mean, I have no experience making movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't really talk, but it's like, you see, like, good movies out there, and you're like, obviously don't copy them, but, like, you can look at what they've done and, like, take steps from that, you know, take pieces of that and just be like, okay, they're doing this thing and this thing, and they're doing it in a good way. They're connecting things.
Yeah.
Plot points are making sense. Our visual effects, we put effort into.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I mean, if you don't have the money, then just don't go as big.
Right. I mean, it'll be a time to see, like, what happens out of this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I certainly hope we can just get all of the Marvel characters back in one place.
Yes.
Because, like, they just got the X-Men too and all that. Fantastic Four. But, like, Spider-Man is, like, their flagship character. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, long before any movie was made. And it sucks to kind of see, like, the president almost leave and, like, kind of leave the White House of, like, all these grand things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whatever happens, I just hope it's good. I hope we get, like, a good Spider-Man or a good whatever. Like, Tom Holland said he's going to still play Spider-Man.
Which is good. That's, like, the best thing that is, like, could have been said at this point. Mm-hmm. Because we don't need another reboot. I don't want another reboot.
No, we don't.
I am tired of it.
Yeah, we don't need Uncle Ben getting shot again. We
don't need a spider to bite him again.
We don't need a spider, but that's, like,
That's why they didn't do it.
Yeah, Marvel understood that. But, like, I don't know. It sucks, but, we gotta just move on with it. See what happens. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, well. Mm-hmm. So, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess that's all the time we have for. Are we still doing media recommendations for the week?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. You know, we've done it so far.
Go watch all the Star Warses again.
Yeah.
Watch some of those. I gotta watch those with my girlfriends.
Yeah, watch those. Take notes. appreciate them.
Check out all the trailers and news that we mentioned in here.
Oh yeah,
check out the posters for all the Disney Plus Marvel shows.
A lot of stuff to look at.
Check out the new Star Wars poster. Ooh, shiny, palpy, delicious, tasty,
delicious,
tasty power move.
Let's see. I guess mine would be play Battlefront.
Yeah,
if you're into that kind of thing. The game's a lot fair now. A lot more fair now.
Yeah.
Microtransactions are, I mean, they're still in there, but like they're not as you don't need them.
Prominent.
You don't need them to play the game and have fun and win.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we'll see you all next week.
Yeah. See you next week.